Trump also credited countries like Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Egypt for helping the U.S. broker this historic deal. Now, phase one of the 20-point peace plan has just begun. So what happens next? Here with us is Christian Whiten, former State Department senior advisor. Christian, I spoke with the architect, one of the architects, I should say, of the Abraham Accords earlier. He's my former colleague, Avi Berkowitz. He, alongside Jared Kushner, was instrumental to those deals. Listen to what he said about the way forward.
The president understands the power of momentum. I know that his team, led by Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, have a very specific plan that they will enact over the coming months, and they'll use today's momentum to achieve significant things.
So do you think this momentum carries us through to phase two and beyond?
It can, it should. I mean, momentum is a good thing, but I don't think it detracts from the historic nature of the agreement to say that there are a lot of things that have to be worked out. The 20-point plan in some ways was very detailed, but it leaves open questions about security. It says that that Hamas not only will be demilitarized, but de-radicalized. And that may be a tall order, because the way that the government of Egypt and the Gulf monarchies that are going to have to pay for rebuilding sort of exist in funding is by suppressing political Islam, suppressing the Muslim Brotherhood, which is the same thing as Hamas. So in Gaza, you have Hamas still sort of on the warpath, just not against Israel. They're killing other Arabs now who disagree with them. So who is going to provide security for reconstruction? Things like that need to be answered, but I think they can be. It just hasn't been done yet.
You know, the old mantra of speak softly but carry a big stick. You know, you could argue President Trump, he's obviously verbally very tough on our enemies. But if you go back, and I did today, and read his Riyadh speech that he gave on that first foreign trip, he gives Iran an opening. He says, you could choose to be a member of the international community, or you could choose another path. They chose another path, and a few months later, the stick came, and that was the bombing of Fordow and the obliteration of those nuclear facilities in Iran. That Fordow moment, I think that was a key moment to making today happen. President Trump said the same. What are your thoughts?
I think so. Trump said that. Your two previous guests, Newt and Victoria, said that. Fundamentally, you know, it used to be that, well, we have to solve Israel-Palestine before you can solve anything in the Middle East. And Trump proved he flipped that and said, no, if you put Iran in a box, then these other problems will become solvable. I think it was also very important for Israel to bomb Qatar. That really showed the double-crossing, double-dealing Qataris who have, frankly, appeased the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas and used Al Jazeera, which helped kill our troops in Iraq. And Trump gave them an off-ramp, too, a gracious way to come in from the cold, stop double timing, and join this coalition that actually is going to have to pay for rebuilding Gaza.
Yeah, he gave them a choice, and they chose the other way. Christian, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.